Sports Magazine. My friend, welcome.
Jay, as always, great to talk to you. And I'll tell you what, as you said, the regular season ends today, but let's hope there's a lot more Cavalier basketball to talk about.
Well, you and I have both lived long enough, and I'm not going to age us, but we've lived long enough to see the Cavs from beginning to present. In your opinion, was this the team's most exciting season ever?
I would say so, at least regular season-wise.
Right.
Now, the playoffs start this coming weekend, so we'll see as far as postseason. But regular season-wise, with a new coach and the return of Ty Jerome and that sort of thing, it has been an amazing regular season. Only the third time that this franchise has experienced a 60-plus win season, and it has been remarkable to watch it unfold.
Ty Jerome is like the Energizer Bunny. I mean, literally, you wind him up and he just goes and goes and goes. And it doesn't matter how many minutes he plays, he scores.
Jay, to me, the individual story of the year, the Cavs as a team are a remarkable story, but the individual story as you go through the roster is Ty Jerome. This is a guy that only played one game last year and suffered a really tough ankle injury, and boy, he battled back and just worked so hard, but nobody anticipated the season that he's had, and he's going to be a huge piece for the Cavaliers as they start the playoff push.
We talk about the fundamentals and the difference in the coaching staff, and we've had this conversation before, but what potential team weaknesses do the Cavs need to overcome to make it to the finals?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm sure Kenny Atkinson and the staff are going to pour over video in the next week before the playoffs begin to see, hey, where do we need to shore some things up? I know one of the things has been rebounding, physicality, although Kenny doesn't like that term. He likes the term competitiveness, that rebounding and being physical is all about the ability to compete and competing at the highest level. So I think the Cavs have had a couple of dips in the road as far as that is concerned this year, but I think they've learned their lesson in the past couple of years in playoff basketball, Jay, to realize, listen, it gets tougher and it gets more physical in the postseason, and I think they'll be ready for that.
Darius Garland has an attitude of bringing fun to the table when he plays basketball and encourages the other players to do so, even turning a practice into a fun game of horse. Will the playoff strategy be different from the fun, free-loving, free-shooting team that we saw in the regular season?
Yeah, I think, there's the old cliche, you dance with the girl that brung you. And the Cavaliers have been a free-spirited, loose basketball team all season long. Now, don't get me wrong. That doesn't mean they're not focused. They are an intense, focused team. But they realize it's a long season, and so you have to have some fun. And I think Kenny learned a lot about that from Steve Kerr when he spent 3 years at Golden State. So I don't see things changing so much insofar as their approach. And certainly when you get to play one opponent for 4 through 7 games, however long the series takes, it allows you to really focus on that team. But I think the overall spirit of the team is one that they have fun and they enjoy being around one another.
Why was it so important to Jarrett Allen to play all 82 games?
Well, I think he came into the season with a real chip on his shoulder. Of course, it didn't end well last year in the postseason when he suffered the cracked rib and wasn't able to play in the Boston series. And people questioned his toughness, and not to rehash that whole scenario, but I think Jarrett said, you know what, I'm not happy about that, and I'll show people I'm going to play in every single game this year. And so he mentioned that on Media Day all the way back in September of 24, and that was a goal of his. He wanted to do it. The coaches wanted to sit him for a game or two just to give him some rest. He said, no, I want to play all 82. And I think it was a result of the way last year ended, that he wanted to answer his critics.
One of the things that I personally like about Kenny Atkinson's strategy is that he's not afraid to change course in midstream. If he doesn't like his starting five and the way they're playing, he will move people around, and he'll move them around fast. How will the bench be used in the playoffs?
That's a great question, and I think, Jay, we're gonna study that, especially the first few games of whoever the Cavs draw in the first round. We won't know that until later this week. But listen, he said all season long, I'm going to play 10 or 11 guys, and he did that. Now, I think those minutes will be shrunk because as you get to postseason basketball, the starter minutes go up. You want your 5 best players on the floor for as long as they can be out there. Insofar as the rotations and the combinations are concerned, I think he still wants to go 9, maybe 10 deep. It will depend on the matchup. It will depend on the game. As you said, he'll coach on the fly if something isn't working. But it's a real luxury to have the bench that the Cavaliers have.
Why is the third quarter such a problem for this team?
Well, maybe you should talk to Kenny Atkinson about that. I don't know. And you know what, Jay, in all seriousness, that can't happen in the playoffs because the leads, if they become a big lead for the opponent, they are that much harder to overcome. You don't have big rallies in postseason basketball. So I think that's something that the Cavs will focus on in this week between the end of the regular season and the start of the playoffs next weekend. And again, it also goes back to the fact that your starters are going to play more minutes. He's going to extend those guys. So hopefully that'll mean more playing time going into the second half, and those slow starts in the third quarter will be minimized, if not go away.
Do we think that the Cavs can beat Oklahoma City in 7 games if that's the way the playoffs turn out this year?
Well, let me tell you, my friend, there's a long Eastern Conference playoffs ahead of us, so let's not put the cart before the horse. I'll tell you what, I think it would be an amazing NBA Finals if it was Cleveland and Oklahoma City because of the fact that they've been the 2 best teams in the NBA all season long. OKC's phenomenal, one of the best in the league, both offensively and defensively. So I'll tell you what, my friend, let's have another conversation if that series comes to be. But let's get through the Eastern Conference first.
You got a deal. We want to thank Tim Alcorn for being with us, and there is more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead on the Ohio News Network.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest till 2030 plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call them today. 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
That's are us when dreams sunk in. That's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
Baths are us. When dreams sunk in, baths are us.
At Metal Supermarkets, we're all about getting you and your crew to quit in time sooner. That's why our service is a cut above. You see, no matter the project, we'll get you to the right metal, shape, and grade. Cut to any size, ready real fast. And yeah, we'll deliver, leaving plenty of time for the important things, like opening an ice-cold can of aluminum. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience store for metal.
Who are the people that serve part-time in the Ohio Army National Guard? We are your neighbors and friends. We are your sons and daughters. Our service is providing us valuable job skills, and it pays up to 100% of our tuition. We're proud to serve our state. We are your Ohio Army National Guard. Learn more about part-time service with the Ohio Army National Guard at nationalguard.com/OH. Sponsored by the Ohio Army National Guard. Aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters and this station.
In honor of all those we've lost to cancer and those still fighting and thriving, like basketball analyst and cancer champion Dick Vitale.
I want to beat cancer. I'm going to beat it. That's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to win this battle.
Defeating cancer will take all of us. Join our team to help fund game-changing research that saves lives. At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over the odds. V is for victory over health disparities, victory over setbacks, victory over the unknown. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate to the V Foundation to join our team and help save lives.
Cancer can take away all my physical abilities. It cannot touch my mind, it cannot touch my heart, and it cannot touch my soul.
100% of donations fund game-changing cancer research. Donate now to the V Foundation at v.org.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a better ring to it.
Weekday mornings at 9.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Spring sports are in full swing, and that means high school baseball. Emily Mason joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine from the Ohio High School Athletic Association to chat a little bit about this year's season. Welcome to baseball season. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. We're really excited for this year's baseball season.
How many divisions are there in high school boys baseball? Because I know there's been an expansion in some other sports.
Yes, so baseball was one of those expanded sports in number of divisions. So in the past, there have been 4 divisions in the sport of baseball, and then this is the first season that baseball has been expanded to 7 divisions.
Was that prompted by other sports going from 4 or 5 to 7, or was there a specific reason to baseball?
Yeah, it was really looking at a bunch of team sports. So obviously football was already at 7, and then that left kind of the bigger team sports of baseball and softball, and then volleyball and basketball. Those were the 4 sports that increased from 4 to 7 divisions this year, and then soccer increased from 3 to 5. So it was kind of mainly looking at our biggest team sports in our office.
So when you take a look at those team sports and you expand to a larger number of divisions, what is the impact that it has on those schools? Who's involved?
Yeah, so where you really see the impact is in the postseason tournament. So it's really neat in our team sports. So in the sport of baseball, we have 4 different rounds of playoffs. Starts with sectionals, then the district tournament, then the regional tournament, and then the state tournament. And so what is really neat with the expanded divisions is we're seeing teams advance in the postseason who have never gotten that far. So in the sport of baseball, all teams get into the first round, the sectional tournament of the postseason, but some never make it even to the district tournament, let alone the regional, let alone state. So it's really great because it really provides greater opportunities for teams who have not typically advanced in the past to make it through the postseason.
So there will be 7 state champion teams.
Yes, that is correct.
Are there individual awards that are given for performance?
There are. They are not given by the OHSAA, but they are determined by the Coaches Association. So in the sport of baseball, that would be the Ohio High School Baseball Coaches Association, and all individual awards are awarded through their organization.
Now, when we think about baseball, we typically think of a 9-inning game, but that may not necessarily be the case at the high school level. How many innings do you play?
That is correct. So, yeah, at the collegiate professional level, you typically see the 9-inning game. However, at the high school level, it is a 7-inning game.
And what is the rationale behind that?
Mainly just, if you think of the difference in kind of the physical ability from a high school athlete to a collegiate and then obviously a professional athlete, I think it's really just benefiting the health of those student athletes, and then that they're not, playing too many more innings, but you would see that increase at the collegiate and professional level.
So do we get up in the middle of the 5th inning and stretch?
Yes, you do.
All right.
Yeah.
How fast are these pitchers pitching these days in high school baseball?
So I would say lower classmen, you see, mid-70s, upperclassmen up to about mid-80s. And if you see kind of some elite pitchers, you do see low 90s to mid-90s. That's pretty rare. But, when I sit at the state tournament, we do see some of those 90-mile-per-hour pitches. But it's typically again, kind of more of a low 70s to mid 80s range.
Now, I remember when I played baseball back in the Paleolithic era of the dinosaurs, you had to be prepared to play multiple positions. Are players today in high school baseball playing multiple positions, or are they relegated to just one role?
It's really dependent on the size of the roster. You have some teams, especially at the Division I level, that they have full rosters at every level, freshman team, JV team, varsity team. So you would probably see more of those athletes only playing one main fielding position. And then at maybe a smaller school, you might see them, kind of roving between positions on the field. The only thing is during an actual contest, players, they can switch fielding positions with the exception of the pitcher.
Now, does the pitcher hit?
They can, yes.
But do they? Is there a designated hitter in high school baseball?
There is now. Yep, that's kind of a recent rule, but I believe in the last 2 to 3 years, but yes.
Can a small school ball player achieve the same prospects for the future as a ball player who attends a big school?
Yes, absolutely. I would say in the sport of baseball, they do a really great job at, figuring out how to be seen. So just take our state tournament, for example. A lot of collegiate baseball coaches will come to those state tournament events, even starting at the regional level. So that's what's great about the state tournament is they have the opportunity to see, the big Division I schools all the way down to Division VII schools. And then outside of the baseball season, there are a lot of, you might call them showcase events that are not limited to, only the big school athletes. So these showcases provide an additional opportunity to be seen in front of collegiate and professional coaches. So I think the sport of baseball does a really great job at, finding ways to see athletes play to bring them to the next level.
And when is the tournament this year?
It is Thursday, June 12th through Sunday, June 15th, and that's for the state tournament.
All right. We want to thank Emily Mason from the Ohio High School Athletic Association for being with us this morning. And for Ohio Sports Magazine, we've got more straight ahead right here on the Ohio News Network.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move, a pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton. ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
Nearly 90% of Ohio's children grow up, learn, and dream at one of our public schools. As lawmakers continue to hammer out the new state budget, they must make sure the school funding formula reflects what it actually costs to provide a great education for everyone. Tell your lawmakers to keep their promise to Ohio's kids.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio foot and ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now, let's check in with Matt Andrews for this week's Ohio Broadcaster Roundtable.
Welcome back to this week's Ohio Sports Magazine. We're going to go up to Lucas County, the voice of everything Toledo, certainly the voice of Toledo Pro Sports. Our good friend Matt Melzak is our guest here today on the Ohio Sports Magazine. Matt, great to be with you, and thanks for a few minutes.
Hey, appreciate it, Matt. Great to hear from you.
Your roots in Toledo, back to hockey, into baseball. Tell us about your duties, I guess, and how this has all come together for you up there at Toledo, Ohio.
Well, I've been on the hockey side as the lead play-by-play guy for a long time, and since the beginning of the Toledo Walleye in 2009, and even 4 years prior with the team that was before them, the Toledo Storm. And then in 2010, I started doing some baseball games, and 2012 kind of took over for Jason Griffin as the secondary guy with Jim Weber for the home games. And then just this past year, they've decided with Jim's passing last summer that I would take over as the full-time voice of the Mud Hens and the Walleye. So I've got double duty, and that's my gig.
Matt, tell us about your relationship. We both have a great history with Jim, but Jim Weber was Mr. Toledo. You've taken over there, and I guess how Jim has kind of influenced your job, not only in calling hockey, but baseball.
You know, he really actually, believe it or not, affected the way I called hockey, because I was so into every game was live or die in hockey. And then when I got working with Jim and I went through a couple of baseball seasons where the team wasn't very good, and I kept asking him multiple times, how do you continue to sound like every game is game 7 of the series, you know, when you take the mic? And, you know, because, I mean, the team in some aspects, we had one year, I think it was 2013, where basically by July, the team was eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, they weren't officially, but you just could tell, hey, this team's not going to be a playoff team. And I'm asking you, how do you go 2 more months calling all of these games when there's real no meaning to them? And, you know, and he kind of told me, he's like, I look at every game as its own entity. And he goes, as soon as I started looking at every game as its own entity, I got better as a broadcaster, because of the fact that, yeah, maybe a team might stink. And for him, he had a lot of years where they weren't very good. So he got a lot of prep on this. But he just said, hey, you know, get that out of your brain and just start going with every game as its own entity. And yes, you might have some more when you make the playoffs where you might be a little bit more intense, but you this way, that way you don't miss out on the games in late, you know, August, early September, where you might have a great game. You don't know that when you start the broadcast. So if you go into it thinking, well, our team stinks, you're never going to, you might have a hard time grasping when something great is happening. So you need to look at every game as its own individual thing. And, you know, certainly I think that's one of the great things that I took from him was that, and just being very conversational a little bit more. And I was able to take that into hockey too.
Matt, as this week wears on, your team is home with Iowa, and you're juggling a lot right now with all of your responsibilities, baseball and hockey. The hockey season's still going on. Can you give us an insight right now on what that's like for you?
Yeah, well, they're finishing up the regular season this week with a couple games this weekend, and one of the top teams in the league during the regular season. So the following weekend we'll start up the playoffs for hockey. But yeah, doing baseball most of the week, and then a couple of hockey games this weekend for me. But yeah, hockey, you know, they're going into the playoffs again. It'll be the 9th straight season that the hockey team has gone into the playoffs, and 6 of those years they've made it to the conference finals, won a couple of rounds, and at least gotten to the 3rd round. So, you know, looking forward to another long playoff run there, and while I'm mixing in some baseball in the early part of the season.
Matt Melzak is our guest. Toledo has done such a great job of the Huntington Center with the hockey team between the Walleye and Fifth Third Field where the Mud Hens play. Just the ability to have these two entities in Toledo, has it helped the downtown and the city life, if you will, of Toledo Pro Sports?
Yeah, it has really exploded in downtown Toledo. And it started back in 2002 when you mentioned it, Fifth Third Field went in. We started to see the business side start to pick up around there. Downtown started to have a little bit more of a buzz to it. And then when the hockey team moved over there in 2009 and they opened up the Huntington Center, now it's even expanded even further, where you're getting, you know, more residential life down there, more restaurants, more businesses have come downtown Toledo. The whole area is kind of exploding there in downtown, and it has a lot to do with the start back in 2002 when Fifth Third Field went in. And it, you know, and one great thing that they've done here is if you come up from anywhere in the state and you've been to Fifth Third Field before, you walk in and you go, man, it still looks like it is not very old at all. And you think about it, it's, you know, I mean, it was built and opened in 2002, but when you walk around the stadium, you don't feel that way. You don't feel that it's over 20 years old. You go to the Huntington Center and it's over 15 years old, but you wouldn't know that it is, because of the job that they do in reinvesting into the buildings and making sure they stay to the way that they need to be for fans to come in and have a great time.
Well, we have great memories of our friend Jim Weber, and certainly with you, Matt Melzak. We wish you all the best, and we thank you for a few moments. Best of luck as the seasons go forward.
I appreciate it, Matt. Always a pleasure.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh, no. Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Now's a great time to stock up on Del Monte canned vegetables. Select varieties are on sale for only $1 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Common Man here of Spring Cleaning has you thinking about spring upgrading. This is the month to do it. Freshen your home's look, boost your energy efficiency, and save big during Universal Windows Direct's Spring Home Improvement event. Right now, it's their classic fan favorite offer. You buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. If you buy 4, you pay for 2. If you need 12, you pay for 6. What are you waiting for? Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, or visit universalwindowsdirect.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Oh, by the way, Ivan's no longer on the project. His wife got a new job, so they're moving across the country.
Robin's top researcher is deviating to a new market. This isn't standard.
And now we're short-staffed. Who's going to finish all these projects?
She needs a cluster of new data analysts, and there's no margin for error.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Buying a home used to feel like a complete headache. Listings here, pre-approval there, financing somewhere else. Now, Rocket is giving every home one address. Rocket.com. A single seamless homeownership platform to help you find, buy, sell, finance, and refinance your home. Everything you need, all under one roof. Visit Rocket.com, the new home for all things homeownership. Rocket. Own the dream.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
If you're Central Ohio, we're looking at a cold start to your Sunday. Temperatures through the overnight will be near freezing, so watch out for frosty conditions in the morning. Mix of sun and clouds on Sunday, high near 60, 50 overnight Sunday into Monday. Monday up near 70, but showers and storms in the back half of the day that could be strong will drop temperatures into the 50s by Tuesday. That's your latest 10 weather impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan. This is ONN.
Earlier this week, the University of Florida won the men's NCAA tournament. The Gators beat Houston to claim their 3rd national championship in men's basketball. Florida is the only school in the country with 3 national titles in both football and basketball. Most of that success has come in the last 25 years. Paul Feinbaum covers college sports for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS FM in Columbus. Paul says it's difficult to explain why and how Florida has become a power in both sports when so many can only be dominant in just one.
It is a bizarre athletic department because of the gaps. There have been so many long runs where they did nothing. Football in the 80s, in the 60s, they were good with Spurrier. They were good in the 80s, but that all got wiped out because of NCAA probation. And basketball is an enigma because they went to the Final Four in the 90s with Lon Kruger. And then Billy Donovan put them in a back-to-back situation. He went to 3 overall. But they didn't fire Mike White, but he knew he had to go because he wasn't getting to the Final Four. And Todd Golden was a shot in the dark. I mean, this guy was a complete unknown. He had been an assistant under Bruce Pearl, and I don't think anyone can quite believe it, even though because Florida was not even on the radar in October when the SEC preseason came out.
No, unranked, right? In the top 25, all of that stuff. It was just an incredible run. And then also just kind of an example of where we are in college athletics when you think of the portal stuff that happened there. We had an interesting portal thing happen today. Cody McMahon, an All-American women's basketball player here for the last couple of years, jumped in the portal a couple of weeks ago, and we said, okay, well, I get it. Like maybe you want to play at LSU or you want to play at Texas or South Carolina, one of the preeminent programs. Paul, and I don't expect you to be all locked in on all this stuff, although it wouldn't surprise me if you were. She signed with Ole Miss about a half hour ago, which begs the question, what is happening in these SEC schools? Because obviously this would be NIL would be a huge part of this, where somehow Ole Miss is outspending Ohio State in women's basketball?
Well, what's interesting is, and I've gotten to know the women's coach there, Coach Doe, they have been on the precipice of the Final Four for 3 or 4 straight years. So I'm not surprised. Ole Miss has had one of the strongest collectives in the industry, as you saw last year when they went out and probably had the best portal class and completely underperformed by not getting to the playoffs. But they're extremely good in basketball too. The men's program has Chris Beard, who was the number one, went to the championship game 7 or 8 years ago at Texas Tech, and then got fired at Texas as the number 1 team in the country for domestic violence allegations. By the way, that's way more than your audience wanted to know. But my point is that they've got it going there, so it's not a surprise inside the SEC Beltway.
Yeah, really something. When we had this, it's interesting. We talked a little bit about Kirby's comments last week, and anytime one of these coaches kind of gets in front of a microphone, they can't wait to talk about and are asked. I mean, to be fair, they are asked about the various problems in the various sports. And we just got through 2 tournaments where there's a portal going on as we were crowning national champions in men's and women's basketball. But when you talk to the powerful people around the sport, my hunch is you've had a chance to do that over the last couple of weeks. What were they hoping would come out of the April 7th House settlement, and do they think that whatever comes of it will stick?
Well, number one, I did have a 30-minute conversation on air last Friday with Greg Sankey, the SEC commissioner, and he was locked in. I mean, even though he was going back and forth between the women and men's Final Four with 2 teams playing in the finals, mostly he talked about, after he got through giving us his travel schedule, he talked about ADs and commissioners love to tell you where they've been. He talked about what was going to happen on Monday, and everyone knew that the decision would not be made. That came as no surprise. A lot of reporters wasted good money hanging out all day in San Francisco. But what he was most interested in, Bo, was what happened yesterday in Washington, D.C., when all of the Power Four commissioners and really many coaches and ADs visited Capitol Hill, probably picking a bad day to do it, considering that the biggest story of the day was the stock market and the tariffs, and I doubt anyone really cared who else was there. But they did their deal, and Sankey beat the drum as loudly as I have ever heard for Congress needing to get involved. And Bo, as much respect as I have for him, and Petiti and these others, I don't think anyone was really listening, nor do I think anybody on Capitol Hill really cared.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Rothman and Ice.
When you're paying a guy this amount of money, you either feel like you're right there and he's going to put you over the top, or you've got the runway to get it done.
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
Discover uncompromising quality at a reliable price with Giant Eagle and Market District. Find everyday savings and bargains on produce, meat, and more. Look for signs throughout the store highlighting long-term lower prices. With our weekly sales, deals for days promotions, and My Perks loyalty program? Giant Eagle helps make the most out of every shopping trip. Surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and experience value like never before. Visit Giant Eagle and Market District today to see how easy it is to save.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco. ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco. ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco. ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to GetEco.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to lifesearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit lifesearch.com today.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Buy 2 windows, get 2 free. No limit. Pay no interest till 2030 plus $500 off your home improvement project. Restrictions apply. Call them today. 614-502-5220. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams sunk in, that's are us.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
It's time to discuss Cincinnati Reds baseball and hear from Stephen Offenbaker of Locked On Reds with our Paul Keels.
It's our pleasure this week to talk with Steve Offenbaker from the Locked On Reds podcast. Steve, as always, thanks for your time. Very interesting to look at how this start of the season has played out for the Reds. In particular, this past week with Hunter Green's performance, what he did against San Francisco was amazing, but we've kind of seen a lot of elements early on to the Hunter Green that I guess we've all hoped for, haven't we, Steve?
He's really turned a corner. He has become the ace that we hyped him to be. He has become the ace that he said he was going to be. He's really just finally arrived. That last start out in San Francisco, 8 2/3 innings, just missed having a complete game. It's really the kind of thing that I think will elevate this rotation as a whole. We'll see the other starters try and match that. That's just the way pro sports works. He's going to have a great impact on this rotation.
Steve, you seen anything different from what we saw last year?
You know, I think it's a mastery of his secondary pitches. He's doing a lot more pitching and a lot less throwing. He's trying to miss the barrels. He's pitching to some contact. He's not trying to strike every single batter out, although he's going to get his strikeout totals. In that San Francisco game, he had 7, so he will get his strikeouts. But he's actually pitching instead of throwing, and he's being very efficient. And he's being very smart.
You know, certainly this brings in, especially with how that played out in the 9th inning of that game, but watching it through the course of a whole season, Are you just as curious, Steve, as everybody else to see how Terry Francona is going to handle starting pitchers in late games like this?
I am curious. I'm not quite sure we've seen exactly how Tito's going to do this. I did love that he used Tony Santillan in a high leverage save type situation in that San Francisco game. If this bullpen can become, 4 deep in closers, so to speak, where you have guys like Graham Ashcraft, Alexis Diaz, who will be back from injury soon. You'll have Tony Santillan and Emilio Pagan. If you can go to all 4 of those guys late in ball games and they're effective in a closer type role, the Reds are going to go far. That's a tremendous bullpen to have. So I'm interested to see how long Terry's going to let the starters go, how much rope he's going to give them to see if they can battle through things. I don't think we've seen that yet, and I'm looking forward to how that's going to play out.
This kind of rolls into the next question I had for you. I listened on the podcast when you were talking with Eric Matthews about what to do with Alexis Diaz when he is activated, and or what to do with the closer's role. Is that kind of an open-ended thing in your mind, Steve?
It is for me, and and Eric disagreed with me on that.
I know.
I believe that it should be a bullpen by committee until someone clearly just establishes themselves as the guy. I don't think Alexis Diaz should walk back into a closer's role. I think he should have to come in and fight for it and earn it. And, I want him to be hungry with a chip on his shoulder. That's the Alexis Diaz I want. And I want the other guys to pitch the same way. I don't think that there's any role on this team, and Tito has said this, that anybody is just going to be handed. They're going to have to earn it. Whatever was going on last year, Tito said, doesn't matter. We're talking about this year. You have to prove yourself. You have to earn your spot. And I think the closer role should definitely be handled that way.
Is kind of the joker in the deck Graham Ashcraft with the role that he's in now, or a role that he might be in the future?
It is, because we don't know for sure how much Graham Ashcraft's going to lean into this bullpen guy role. Tony Santillan is a great example of how it can be done right. Tony Santillan came up as a starter. It just didn't really work out. They moved him to the bullpen, and he really leaned into that job and has just gotten better and better and better the more that he's done it. If Graham Ashcraft does the same thing, he has the attitude, he has the stuff to be a really, really effective back of the bullpen kind of guy, a guy that could be a closer, that killer mentality to come out and just throw at 110%. Graham Ashcraft can do that. Now the question is, will he embrace it, or in his heart of hearts, does he think he's being misused and he should be a starter? Time will tell.
Steve, this is a question that maybe falls under the category of there's not really an answer for it yet. But when you look at the lineups that Terry Francona has used, some of it is retarded because of no Tyler Stevenson and with Matt McLain having been hurt. But is it kind of crazy to see kind of where he has certain people pegged in and thinking that that's something that could change down the road too?
Yeah, I think that we haven't really seen the best version of this team. Austin Hayes has to get back. Tyler Stevenson has to get back. And then guys can kind of find their niches, I think. Austin Hayes probably is going to be the cleanup hitter on this team. And right now, everybody else that's batting fourth is just fill in. Gavin Lux has hit there a lot. He's not really a 4-hole hitter. Gavin Lux will do much better lower in the lineup. Other guys that if maybe CES plays his way into that role. We've seen Tyler Stevenson in that role. I think once everybody's back, Francona will scoot some guys around, guys that won't move. TJ Friedel's going to be your leadoff hitter. Matt McLain, when he's in this lineup, is going to hit second, and Ellie is going to hit third.
Steve Offenbaker from the Locked On Reds podcast. We encourage you to check it out on a regular basis. Thanks as always for your time, Steve.
Appreciate it, Paul.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Did you know 38% of Ohio's teenagers have spent money on gambling in video and online games? Items like mystery boxes, skins, and spin to win mimic gambling, putting children at a higher risk of experiencing a gambling disorder as an adult. So get in the know about youth gambling and start the conversation with discussion guides, parent resources, and more at ChangeTheGameOhio.org. That's ChangeTheGameOhio.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Damaro.
Nearly 90% of Ohio's children grow up, learn, and dream at one of our public schools. As lawmakers continue to hammer out the new state budget, they must make sure the school funding formula reflects what it actually costs to provide a great education for everyone. Tell your lawmakers to keep their promise to Ohio's kids.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Does heel pain make you hobble just getting out of bed in the morning? If heel pain is affecting your ability to exercise and meet your walking or running goals, relief is as close as your local podiatrist. Podiatric physicians are highly trained doctors who specialize in medical and surgical treatment of the foot and ankle. Ohio Foot and Ankle podiatric physicians are available across the state and are devoted to providing the highest quality foot and ankle care.
For more information or to find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit ohiofoot.org.
We plant trees because people need trees, and when planted in the right place, they have great impact. Trees help slow climate change, filter our air and water, foster biodiversity, and strengthen our communities. They create the kind of transformational change the world needs now. April is a month filled with opportunities to care for and plant trees. For planting resources, contact an Ohio ISA certified arborist who can help you learn how to take the best care of your trees. Visit trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys chatted about just how much fun it's been to watch the Cleveland Cavaliers this regular season.
All right, Mike, we got, I don't remember our
I'll set it up.
Go ahead, set us up.
So I was talking to Earl, and Earl's not feeling well. He was supposed to be in this chair today.
Slacker, Earl. Slacker.
No, he's not feeling good. I talked to him.
I'm
His
kidding.
voice is, we don't want him getting anyone sick. And we were talking about how much fun this Cavs season has been. Now, they clinched the 1 seed last night. They haven't had a ton of meaningful games in the last month because of the gigantic lead they had built over Boston. But we're talking about how much fun, in general, this season has been for Cleveland. Their over-under win total preseason was right around 50. They're 63-16 with 3 games to go. They can tie the franchise record for wins. And the question I asked Earl was, not just Cavaliers, but Browns and Guardians/Indians included, is this the most fun regular season that you've been a part of in terms of watching and being a fan of the team? Is this the most fun regular season you've been a part of? Now, I've only been in Cleveland since 22, so my limited knowledge of Cleveland regular seasons and that list is very short. But I'm curious for you, Dustin. Where does this Cavs season on the fun meter, obviously there's still a lot more to accomplish.
Yeah.
The regular season, where does this rank among the most fun regular seasons you've had as a Cleveland sports fan?
Yeah, it's up there. For sure, it's up there. I would say that we had a ball when LeBron came back.
The first year.
Yes. Like the first year, which was 2015.
It was a 14-15 season.
That was fun because it was just like,
it was new and fresh.
You know how bad the Cavs were.
Oh, of course.
Dude, we were like, excited when they signed Andrew Bynum.
The year before.
Right?
The year before, they signed Andrew Bynum.
Can they make the 8 seed?
I remember.
Play the Heat in the 8 seed.
We were at, what was the bar we were at? Opening night.
Harry Buffalo.
Harry Buffalo downtown.
Yep,
having a conversation about could the Cavs get the 8th seed with Andrew Bynum. That's how sad Cavs basketball had become. After that first LeBron year, the regular season became a little boring. Because it was like Kobe when the playoffs hit.
Correct. I think the other year that was good was the 08-09 season. They ended up losing the playoffs to the Magic, but that was
the 66 wins.
Yes.
That was the franchise record.
I went to a lot of games that year.
Yeah.
I was in Buffalo at the time.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
The Fan app is about to become your new best friend. Your one-stop shop for all your favorite fan shows. ESPN Columbus and BetQL. Live or on demand, listen on your schedule. Download the 97.1 The Fan app today. It's free. Do it.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
Home values in Columbus are sky high, and you have a ton of equity. Your financial advisor thinks the market has peaked. So if you're thinking about selling, it's time. Except for two things. High interest rates will burn you on a new home loan, and you're not ready to move. Savvy financial advisors suggest Truehold's new Sell and Stay program. It's ingenious because they buy your home now while its value is high, but you can stay in your home as long as you want with an easy, affordable lease. Smart, right? Truehold will make you a solid cash offer, not a lowball offer like the others. It's based on your home's current value. The cash is yours to travel, pay off bills, or secure your retirement. And again, you can stay in your home with a comfortable lease. Truehold covers property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. See how much Truehold will pay for your home today. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
When your sump pump is no longer sumping and pumping, please don't become a sump pump grump.
A sump pump grump thinks whacking the pump will make it start working again.
But it never does.
Get Eco.
ECO. A sump pump grump will let a faulty sump pump completely ruin a perfectly good day.
Fortunately, I've invented a solution.
No more sump pump grump?
No more sump pump grump.
Get Eco.
ECO. Tell me about it, Jerry.
The solution is that you get Eco to do a sump pump inspection.
What would that include?
We check your pump, your battery backup, and all the downspouts and drains along the way to make sure everything is running clear.
How much?
That's up to you, Aaron.
Jerry, Eco would be happy to do that for just $89.
That's a great price.
Get Eco.
ECO. Eco plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
Go to GetEco.com.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a room of rejected mascot memorabilia. Is it real? No one knows. But we do know NJM is proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Question from a listener: do you dopes ever get tired of talking about Ohio State? No. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Big thanks to Emily Mason and Tim Alcorn for being guests on this week's Ohio Sports Magazine. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Bodie Wells, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine. Join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.